rather have Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson?
Russell Wilson, but that doesn't mean Lamar Jackson's not a franchise quarterback.
Okay, would you rather have Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson.
No.
You're looking at possibly fight of the year there. Normally I don't double up on fighters, but when you have two talented fighters like Weili and Rose, and then not to mention how exciting Weili is, especially in her last fight with Joanna, and I think Rose is a better Joanna.
All right, now we got Adam here to talk with us a little bit about the Philadelphia Eagles. Adam loves talking shit, and just like other Eagles fans, he loves eating shit. Third pick of today, Friday, is going to be Oral Roberts plus 15.5. So that'll be later this afternoon against Ohio State. Ohio State's great, but a lot of those 15-2 matchups tend to be closer than you really think they're going to be.
Double Jack and Coke.
And I was
whatever we can get our hands on, we were drinking it.
Hooting and hollering all kinds of profanities and ruining the experience of the people around me.
All right, what's up, guys? I'm going to go over this Yuri and Dominick Reyes card here for you. Just give you some of my picks for tonight or for tomorrow night. So first off, I'm going to go down to some of the prelim fights. First fight on the card should be an interesting one. You know, you got Luke Saunders coming off beating Renan Barão. It wasn't the same Renan Barão back then. It's a tough fight for me to gauge. I've gone back and forth on him and Corrales. You know, I may bet this fight. I may have one of these guys in one of my lineups. I haven't made that decision, but if I do, it's probably going to be Luke. I just like him a little bit better than I do Corrales with the wrestling and the stand-up aspect of it. So if you want to, and having the first fight of the night can usually set the tone for the entire rest of the card. So most people don't like betting that first fight. I don't blame you. Most of the time I don't, but it can also end up winning you the night or losing and making your night pretty shitty to start off with. Next up is Kamaka against TJ Brown. I like Kamaka in this one. You know, as far as at the value you're getting him at 8,400, I can see this going into like a second round finish, maybe a third round, early third round. Get you some points and value there as well. My underdog pick for this card. Listen, don't let Randa Marco's record fool you at 10-10-1. She has beat some of the best girls in the world. You know, she beat Carla Esparza. She submitted Angela Hill. I really like her chances. Might be fight of the night here. You know, Pinero is tough. She's a finisher. Just for the value you're getting at 7,700 for Randa Marcos, I love that. And then, so I'm actually going to have Randa Marcos in a lot of my lineups, and then I'll sprinkle in Pinero as it goes, just depending. I mean, Pinero is at 8,500. You know, she's making her UFC debut. She's fought on The Ultimate Fighter, and she's been on Dana White's Contender Series. So we'll see how she does. But I like Randa Marcos in this one to get it done by decision. Then moving on, I'm probably going to stay away from the Stamen and Devilish fight. You know, I've heard that Devilish has been training. He usually trains with, you know, Aljamain Sterling and those guys up at Serra-Longo. But he had to move his camp. I can't remember exactly where he moved it to. So, you know, I mean, he's a wrestler. You know, I'm almost positive he set the record for most takedowns in a bantamweight fight. I believe it's bantamweight. So, you know, if I was to lay money on this, I like Devilish in this. I think it's a terrible matchup for Stamen. You know, he just does everything that Stamen does better. So, I mean, if you like that, I would bet that way. Then next up, I really love Steve Strickland at 9,200. I mean, he's the second highest paid salary that you're going to get on here. And for a reason, Strickland's he's gonna go out there and throw bombs. He's gonna get the fight. Especially the way this new Draftkings scoring system works with favors the wrestler so much as more the striker. And I can see him going out there getting some takedowns, securing the win. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that Joku is stepping in on short notice. I think this was supposed to be somebody, I can't remember off the top of my head who was supposed to be fighting Strickland. But I would love to see Strickland win this fight and then him and Brendan Allen go at it again. I know Strickland doesn't want that fight. He said he's already beat him once. I'm not going to give that bum another rematch. Me personally, I would love for him to give that rematch. I think that it goes a different way this time. I think Brendan Allen gets it done if they were to fight again. Then next up is going to be Laba. I love him in this 8,200. Can't beat that price. Anywhere with that 82 to 8,400 price range, I'm all about it. And I don't know why, but I tend to stack a lot of the main cards sometimes. For some reason, I don't know why. I'll do like maybe one or two of the prelims, and then the rest of my fights will be all main card. And it's been working recently. We're getting those finishes on the prelims, and then moving into the main card and kind of catching everybody when people have stacked a lot of those prelim fights and there haven't been finishes. And with this card, I don't see a ton of finishes on this card. This is a really, really tough card to judge on who's going to win. A lot of these fights are extremely close. So I can see it going either way on a lot of these fights. But I like Laba, and then I'm staying away from the Cub Swanson fight. Cub was actually I love Cub. The first fight that me and John ever went to, Cub was headlining it against Artem Loval. It was a great fight. I was back in Nashville. Mike Perry got the vicious elbow knockout on that card over Jake Ellenberger. Just brutal if you go back and watch that fight. I'm going to be pulling for Cub. I don't know if he gets it done. I like the value at 7,600, the veteran. And being the underdog, you can't go wrong in that. I might have some Cub sprinkled in some of my lineups. I haven't made that decision yet, but there's a good chance that I will. All right, next up, we've got Yuri and Dominick Reyes, the main event. I love Yuri. I've said it since day one. I think he's one of the top guys in that division. He hasn't fought anybody to the level of Dominick Reyes. He's fought King Mo, who was probably, I would probably say, his toughest fight. I know some people like Maldonado. He's a UFC vet, tough guy. Volk, but nobody could. And King Mo, don't get me wrong here. He was catching King Mo at the end of his career. Not the same fighter that he used to be back in Strikeforce and even early Bellator years. But King Mo can put it on you too, man. Don't let him fool you. Even back in the day, he had some vicious ground and pound. I love watching some King Mo in Strikeforce. That said, he's not Dominick Reyes. Dominick Reyes is an animal. Former football player and a safety at that. So. And I like Dominick Reyes as the underdog. I'm definitely going to have both these guys in different lineup. Dominick Reyes and Yuri. I'm not sure what the under is, but it's a good possibility that this fight might get finished. And if it does, it'll be on, I would say, Yuri's side, knocking Reyes out. But I could also see Reyes knock him out just the way that Yuri likes to stand in front of you. He's got that awkward stance where he's looking away, looking at you, trying to get you to, he's trying to bait you into throwing something that you normally wouldn't throw. And he got hit a lot against Volk, Volkan Ozdemir. And that, if he has that same mentality of, oh, I'm just going to eat shots to give one, against Dominick Reyes, it's not going to work. Dom has knocked out some of the top guys too. From the Chris Weidman, he's beaten, Jared Cannonier, he's beat some tough guys. But also at the same time, he's lost to the best, and John Jones and Jan. So in that Jan fight, I don't think that Dom was the same fighter that he was going into that John Jones fight. I think that he thought he was the uncrowned champion essentially, and that this belt was just going to be handed to him. And Jan was, he wasn't anybody that he was really threatened by. I think he's going to have a different mindset coming in this Yuri fight. With that said, I'm still picking Yuri to win, just like I did on the podcast. But needless to say, I can definitely see Dom pulling this out and getting, a finish, and a TKO finish at that. So I will have both of those guys sprinkled in some lineups, just different ways of going about it. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys. So make sure you like, subscribe. If you don't like what I'm saying, to give a thumbs down. We don't care. Any type of interaction and get the viewership up on this is much appreciated. So thanks, guys. Enjoy the weekend. And I believe I might try and do a NASCAR one. I've been doing really well in that. Maybe see if I can't get my cousin on. He does he's my secret weapon when it comes to NASCAR DraftKings so far. So I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for listening. Subscribe again and follow us on Right Hand, Left Hand for our RHLH podcasts on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any of those social media platforms you can find us. Thanks again.